and welcome to the Homemade Podcast Sports. This is your host, J Pops. And welcome back to the Homemade Podcast Sports with your host, J Pops. Guys, today's date is October 19th, 2020 in the great city of Houston, Texas, people. I will not be having any podcast shows coming out for this week. So this will be the only one. And the only reason why I won't be having any is because Texas A&M is on the bye week. So if they're on the bye week, I'm on the bye week also, as well as the rest of us. It gives me a lot of time to get a lot of things done, and it also frees me up to take some time with the family and things like that. Now, don't get me wrong, I still will be watching a lot of college football because I'm just a real big college football fan. But as of this week, of course, I won't be watching. I won't be kind of delivering A&M content throughout the rest of the week. But next week, though, I will be back on that Monday. But before, I get out of here, breaking news, defensive lineman Jayden Peevy was named Defensive Lineman of the Week. He was the SEC Defensive Lineman of the Week, people. So round of applause for Jayden Peevy. Congrats, young man. And it feels so good to have one of our defensive players, man, just get looked at, but I will say this. Isaiah Spiller is still one of the most underrated running backs in all of college football right now. I just seen a stat out there where Najee Harris was number 1 and Spiller was number 2. Now, don't get me wrong. Najee Harris is good, people. He's damn good. But he was only able to surpass Spiller because of the simple fact that he ran for like 150 on Georgia, which is crazy. And I know from looking at the Tennessee and Kentucky game, he's probably finna run for 200 on them. So, hey, man, it is what it is. But him and Spiller right now is, just kind of neck and neck. So, just keep that in mind. Also, one commit out there that I'm going to name Shamar Turner. If you guys didn't know about him, well, I'm telling you now. He's a 4-star. He's a 4-star linebacker. He's a highly rated 4-star linebacker. Might turn into 5-star depending on how the rest of the season is going to be. But he's been in contact with A&M. He has A&M in his top 5. If we get that guy, I want you guys to go and do some research. If we get that guy will be a dynamic pass rusher. I'm going to say that once again. He will be a dynamic pass rusher. Now, we're in battle with LSU, Georgia, Alabama, and 2 more others, I think. Or 1 more other, I think. But if we was to land that guy, now, of course, he's a part of the 2021 class. But if we was to land that guy, man, that future would be so bright, people. So bright. I just wanted to put that out there. But like I say, I won't be having any videos coming out for this week. But what I will be doing is a hard film study on Arkansas and also ourselves, So when I come back out next week, I'm going to have some very, very crisp topics to talk about, and I'm going to have some very intriguing things to talk about. What's crazy, though, is that I heard on the podcast that I was listening to where a guy said Arkansas is better than A&M right now. I have no clue of what he's looking at. I can tell you right now, and I'm in like the ending of the 3rd quarter watching this Arkansas Ole Miss game. That Arkansas defense is for real. I like it. I like it a lot. That Arkansas offense, really, really inconsistent. Offensive line play, poor. Running back play, I'm not going to say poor, but it's average. That offense has no identity. So I have no clue of what anybody is looking at if they're going to say Arkansas is better than Texas A&M at this point. I can tell you one thing: Texas A&M is finding an identity, and it's a balanced identity. What I mean by that is, if we need to run the ball, then that's just what we're going to do. We need to pass the ball, then that's just what we're going to do. But at the end of the day, we're going to keep it balanced. Okay? So I want you guys to let that soak in, and I want you guys to think about that. We're going to run a balanced offense. That's real good. That's pretty damn good. And I have no problem with running a balanced offense. Like I said, if we need to run it, we're going to run it. If we need to pass it, we're going to pass it. Felipe Franks, really inconsistent. I know that's crazy to say when we have Kellen Mond at quarterback, right? But no, Kellen Mond is way better than Felipe Franks. I can tell you that much. Felipe Franks is inconsistent and he turns the ball over. Also, Felipe Franks looked very confused out there playing in that Ole Miss game. All right, so I want you guys to think about those things, man. Going into that Arkansas game, I'm not nervous at all. What I do believe is that it will be a blowout game for A&M. That's just my honest opinion. And I'm telling you from what I'm just looking at, what I'm peeping, things like that. That offensive line for Arkansas, it still has a lot to work on, man. That offensive line is very inconsistent. I said the same thing about the Mississippi State offensive line. They're very inconsistent. Footwork is just not there yet. The rotational depth is just not there yet. What Texas A&M has is an actual solid offensive team. You know, a lot of people don't want to believe that because of how many points we're scoring, which is understandable. I understand that. But A&M is a very solid team on offense. They're also very solid on the defensive line on A&M. So I expect that defensive line to get in there and disrupt Felipe Franks a whole lot the entire game. You know, just keep that in mind. Like I say, I'm still doing my analysis on everything. I need to, you know, just kind of see where our inconsistencies are at and everything like that. But we do have a bye week, and like I say, Texas A&M is on a bye week. So am I. So I'll be just kind of sitting back the rest of the week. I need to get a lot of things, you know, finished at work and around the house and things like that, man. So I want you guys to do the same. It's a bye week, so you guys take some time off, man. Get yourselves together. Come on back the Saturday after next, Halloween Saturday. That game is right now scheduled for 6 p.m. So it'll be a night game on SEC Network. So just get ready for that. What else did I have for you guys? Basically, that's pretty much it. That's about all I've got. I haven't heard nothing about Isaiah Spiller as of now, but if it is probably like a mild ankle sprain or something like that, trust me, guys, he'll be ready to go come Arkansas game. I can guarantee you that one. Also with our depth, this is a much needed bye week because after this we're going on a gauntlet run, and we're going to need that depth for A&M that Jimbo Fisher and Mike Elko and Derek Dickey has been recruiting to now finally step up. Demond Demas, we're going to see that guy, stuff like that. What's my boy name? Moose Muhammad. We're going to start kind of seeing those guys in this rotational depth. Anunche, we're going to start seeing that guy in that rotational depth. The defensive line, we're going to start seeing these guys, man. There's going to be a whole lot of depth come after this bye week because we need to start seeing those guys. Like, that's the reason why we went out and got them for the next half of the season. See, the next half of the season, and see, this is what guys been doing like Clemson, Alabama, Georgia, you know, like guys like that. I'm just naming like top guys. They have the depth to keep on going. And see, that's what we're building. We have built the depth to keep on going for the next half of the season. You know, so it's time for us to start playing like that rotational feed of, okay, let me start kind of getting these guys a little bit of rest, get your body right. Like I say, man, we needed this bye week. We needed this bye week as much as possible. I know a lot of people scared because after the bye week, people think that, oh man, they've been out of football for so long, that bye week gonna hurt them. No, it's not. It's really gonna help these guys because these guys need it. These guys need it. Hell, we just went up to Starkville and won up there. We hadn't won up there since 2012. So really kind of needed that bye week to focus mentally on a whole lot of issues that's going on. So far it's like the body and the football wise, like those type of issues. So it's a lot of time for Mike Elko to still fix some holes in that defense and stuff like that, and come on back to this Arkansas game and make a whole nother statement defensively. So just keep that in mind, guys. But like I say, this the Homemade Podcast Sports with your host Jay Pops. Guys, please follow me on Instagram at jpops2020. Follow me on Twitter at jpops05, and also follow me on Facebook at #Homemade Podcast Sports. Or if you can't find it that way, follow me at jpops. I thank you guys once again, and hit that subscribe button. I have about over 130 subscribers now, and I just hope that you guys can tell 130 more people to subscribe. We want to keep this going. We want to make this thing go global. This is the A&M podcast, guys. So we want to keep this thing going global. Let's put it out there. Once again, it's the Homemade Podcast Sports with your host, Jay Pops. #GigaMags. And thank you guys for tuning in to the #Homemade Podcast Sports. Please, guys, subscribe to the YouTube page, and also follow me on Twitter at JPops, on Instagram at JPops, and also on Facebook at #Homemade Podcast Sports. Thank you guys once again. #GigaMags.